Good evening and happy Sunday. Happy Sunday to one and to all. Hi there, Rishka. How are you? Blessings to you. Sana, how are you? And welcome. This broadcast is entitled UNPRETTY, the Price of Beauty. Just want to make sure I have everyone that has come in thus far. And welcome to those who may reach and listen to. Hey there, Mama Hania. How are you? Happy Sunday, or perhaps Monday, depending upon where you are on the globe. Again, this is entitled UNPRETTY, the Price of Beauty. And the first video that we will look at will be a snippet of the inspiration behind the story. And it's from the group who you see pictured, TLC. And unfortunately, the one to the very left, Lisa Left Eye Lopez, passed away some years ago. So, without further ado, I'll get into the program. Thank you. I appreciate that. Hey there, Conscious Energy. Happy Sunday. How are you? All comments are welcome. And after I get this off of the screen, I'll share the quick video and move forward with the broadcast. Hopefully everyone is enjoying this beautiful day. We have had so much rain, high winds in many areas, but the sun is beautiful. And if anyone has any comments or would like to speak on this topic, you are more than welcome. This is going to be fair use. Hey there, Deja Vu. As a matter of fact, let me switch over really quickly to make sure everyone has their tools so that they may connect with others during this broadcast. So give me one quick moment to ensure that you do, and we shall continue. But in the interim, think of any questions or comments you may have on the price of beauty. The price, literally, that is paid monetarily, and with the video that I'm going to show after the music video, and just bits and pieces of that women and men have paid to be pretty. So conscious energy, hold on where you are. And Rizzy, hold on. I think that's it for now. Mama Hania, hold on. And I think that is it for now. Thank you, Deja Vu. Much appreciated. Okay. This is going to be fair use under copyright section 107. And we will see if I'm able to get this done. And again, I'll be playing a little bit of the snippet. And say, So many people, many women and some men, for the sake of social media, perhaps their own self-esteem, or to perhaps please their partners, have gone out or considered having plastic surgery. And the latest, and it's been for a while, craze has been the BBL. And in a moment, I'm going to share a portion of a documentary, Inside Miami and the BBL. And it's going to speak about a young woman who went to have this surgery and unfortunately passed away. Thank you, Facebook family. I see you with your thumbs up. So much appreciated. So, with that, I'm going to begin to share a snippet of this video, which, in my opinion, is extremely important and will hit home to what many people have faced and are facing and the pain. Hey there, DXN TV. Happy Sunday. Again, this is fair use under copyright section 107. It is my hope that everyone will be able to see this very important snippet from this documentary. Hey there, Letitia. How are you? Let me make sure you have your tool as well. I'm just waiting for this to pull up. And again, this is a documentary entitled Inside Miami's Deadly Plastic Surgery Industry. And I'm going to begin at the 3:30 mark. And this is good. And this is the father of the young lady. Again, fair use under copyright section 107.
You would have stopped her?
Oh, immediately. No question about it.
On the morning of May 10th, 2019, Dania arrived for her BBL at Mia Aesthetics. She sent her family this photo before her surgery. It was the last image of her alive.
The next thing I knew is that they called saying that she had a respiratory arrest. So we went to the hospital where she was taken from the clinic, but she was dead already.
This video was taken that day.
And that's when we noticed that she wasn't breathing well. And it was that moment that we called 911. I mean, we didn't wait a second.
By 11:55 a.m., Dania was pronounced dead. Dania died of a pulmonary fat embolism, which happens when fat is accidentally injected into the veins, stopping the heart.
One thing is losing your parents, your old parents, but kids and grandkids, that's a very different animal.
And I would never forget going to her funeral. I remember her daughter was still wearing a white dress, screaming to the top of her lungs for her mom.
Did you wish that you had talked to her about BBLs, or did it even change your thoughts about your own surgery?
If I would have said that, I would have been a hypocrite because I was going in the next week. She died a week before my surgery, my second surgery. And you know how it is. You pay for all that money. There's no refund. There's no refund.
And how many friends do you have that have had BBLs?
All of them,
All of your friends?
all my friends have had BBLs.
As BBLs continue to grow in popularity each year, we wanted to understand what happened to Dania and how these surgeries can go wrong.
These are just kind of general surgical instruments. Here you got your scissors to cut the sutures. This is your pickup.
So we went to meet with a plastic surgeon who not only performs them, but teaches other doctors how to do them safely.
So this is what we use for liposuction, and that's the fat that you have for transfer. So what makes it risky? So it really has to do with the anatomy and in the buttock region. There are large vessels there just beneath the gluteal muscle. And if fat gets into these vessels, it clogs up the lungs. It's what we call a fat embolism.
And that would cause instant death.
Pretty much.
Can cause instant death.
Yeah.
Since 2015, 21 women, including Dania, have died in Florida after having Brazilian butt lifts. Alarmed by these deaths, a number of plastic surgery groups formed a task force to look into why they were happening.
This is the autopsy report for Dania Plasencia.
Yes, I witnessed her autopsy.
And was that something that could have been avoided?
Yes,
She did not need to die from having fat injected. I mean, like, that was not the proper way to do the procedure. Is that correct?
that's correct. No one needs to die from this procedure. If doctors can just avoid putting fat into the muscle, if there's no fat into the muscle, the patients will not die.
Okay, hopefully everyone has their jackets. So that was a brief snippet of what happened to Dania when she went to Miami to have a BBL. I'll continue on with that video shortly, but your thoughts thus far, I'm going to put a poll up momentarily on if you feel as though it is worth having these surgeries according to what you just heard the doctor say towards the end. And it was, no one needs to die as long as the procedures are done correctly. The unfortunate part of this, many are not, and there's so many that is done underground. Yes, deja vu, absolutely. We are all made perfect in His image. Just love yourself as you are. But unfortunately, social media and some of our own hang-ups cause many, not just women, but men, take these routes. So I'll drop this, or those can leave any comments they would like to. And I'm going to place a poll, and I'll be back in one moment. Thank you for all that's come in. We truly appreciate it. Okay, now the poll is up, and it simply asks, have you considered any form of plastic surgery. On the next, that I'm going to go over, and you can read this at your leisure, as it will be in the description. Again, this is fair use. Thank you, Deja Vu. Truly appreciate it. Again, comments, thoughts, and opinions are all welcome. Fair use under copyright section 107. And we're going to go over the pros and cons. Now, according to this quick search, the pros are listed as, and again, this is just a quick search. Confidence. Plastic surgery can make you feel more confident. Next, and again, I'll make sure this is in the description so you can read at your leisure if you should desire. You can hide your age. Next, you can hide imperfections. Next, potential positive health effects. And we see that with some bariatric surgeries. One that comes to mind when I hear that is Al Roker. Cons. Plastic surgeries can be expensive. Next, risk for mistakes. Following up, long recovery periods, and some plastic surgeries go terribly wrong. Now, with those, even knowing that, would you still continue that? Hey there, Big Dog Billy. Hey there, Cooking Lifestyle with Tanya D. Your thoughts on the pros and cons. Do you agree, disagree, or perhaps you're indifferent? And let me click back over and make sure that those come in have their tools to connect with one another as well. And those that come in, so far, the poll says 40%, yes, they've considered, 60%, no. So Cooking Lifestyle, there you go. And let me make sure I didn't miss anyone. Cooking Lifestyle. And Big Dog Philly, you're good. And as you could see in some of the cons, it spoke about the expense. And that is going to be the next screen that I share. Again, this is fair use under copyright section 107. Again, comments and thoughts are welcome. And the link is there for anyone who may want to share or give their opinions and thoughts. And this is from the Aesthetic Society. And it's a breakdown of costs for plastic surgery procedures. And as you can see, they range anywhere from $2,000 to 5, 6, 8. Here's the chart. But you can see the butt lift implants, the Brazilian butt lift right here, which is pretty close to 6K, fat transfer, liposuction, and you have a lower body lift, and one that's not really that expensive, non-surgical fat reduction, spider vein treatment, thigh lift, and then the old tummy tuck that's hovering around 6,500 and could probably go in to 7K. Upper arm lift, upper body lift. And these are done by Asterisk, and it varies. Plastic surgery after weight loss, and then plastic surgery post-pregnancy. And we go down to the breast. Now, I am not sure if this is strictly for women, but we do know that some men have some issues in this area. So, breast augmentation, the implants, breast reconstruction, you're looking at almost 50K for breast reconstruction. And again, certain medical conditions or health conditions may require that. Or perhaps an accident, we don't know. But that's very expensive. And we go down to our lower region. You can see the prices for those. And as I mentioned earlier, these procedures are not limited to women. As you can see, enlargement for our gentlemen, which is hovering around close to 8,000. Head and face, brow lift, 4K. Chin augmentation. You have ear surgeries. This is the first I've ever heard of that. Faceless, these have been on for years. But 9,000, some I'm sure could go over into 10. Lip enhancement, we've seen and heard that. Mid facelift, neck lift, nose surgery, or rhinoplasty, and facial rejuvenation, which also says varies. So with those prices, again, the question is that something you all would consider? Would anyone consider? And Deja Vu says, exercise and eating healthy is free. Mama Hania is speaking to Deja Vu. And you all are speaking. Let's see if there are any other comments. Hey there, young Riaz, how are you? Happy Sunday. And life is there. Young Riaz says, nope. And your reasons, if you'd like to share, young Riaz, and any of the ladies that may be on here. And young Riaz just said something very poignant, which is, I will never change what God made. Thank you, Cooking Lifestyle. Much appreciated. And young Riaz says, it is faith based reasons. I'm glad you said that, and I'm going to pin that because you do have some. Again, I don't judge, I have my own beliefs that may not necessarily agree with faith, religion, or spirituality. So, that being said, your thoughts on that? And if you want to come up and share, young Riaz, you are welcome. And let me click over to make sure everyone has their tool. Make sure that you go into the poll and answer if you'd like, and I'll be back to make sure. But as young Riaz said, it is faith based reasons. And my question was there are some that do not hold the same ideals or beliefs. So, how would you answer that? Hey there, young Riaz.
Otherwise, how are you?
I'm doing good. Nice to finally talk to you. So, I'm going to mute my mic and let you explain or expound on your thoughts as far as it relates to faith based reasons.
Hmm. For me, the faith-based reasons, the reasons I actually do it for faith-based reasons is because I'm never changing what God made. Because in a way, for certain reasons, like for example, because to me, I look as good as I am, though, like naturally what I'm made and what I'm born with. I'm cool with how it is. For certain reasons, if it's for like certain reasons, then I agree with it, though, basically. So if it's like injuries basis and stuff, like if it's like severe damage to the body, then I agree with that aspect only. But with what you call it, the other bits, no, I don't agree.
Okay, I was about to ask you about that. So, would the accidents have to be severe for you? Or,
Yeah, I mean,
okay, I'm sorry, go ahead.
sorry, I was saying the accident, if it's severe for me or for anyone, for example, so if it's both for guy and a girl, so if the accident is very serious though, and if it's like a very serious accident that is damage to the body, like really serious, then yes, I agree with it. But normally, no.
Okay, so in your opinion, young Riaz, and thank you very much for joining, do you feel as though those that have had these surgeries, is it because of low self esteem or because of what society may push, or perhaps
It's a,
their own vanity? And I'll put my mic
it's a
on mute.
Sorry, I was about to say it's a mixture of many things basically. Some people do it because they have low self-esteem because of, pressure in society. And then it's also societal reasons because, how society kind of makes, their standards basically makes these people feel, some kind of ways and stuff. And that's why they go out their way to do it and everything like that. So it's a mixture of many things.
Okay, I do agree with that. Do you see it more prevalent with our younger or older people, or do you see it as being a combination? I'm over 50 now, and what I have is going to be what it is. Um, I'm happy with it, and I'm I'm happy with it, despite if someone else is not. I am, but I'm wondering, and this again is your opinion. Do you think these type of surgeries are more prevalent with our younger people, older people? Because older people do have health issues, and they find that those extra pounds are a little bit more difficult to get off, and also some people
I think that it's a mixture of both older and younger. For the younger ones, though, basically depending on how they is. So if it's like injuries and stuff like that, very seriously, then yeah, that's totally understandable. But if it's like because they feel some kind of stuff, if they feel severe pressure and stuff, and if they want to change something, then I don't really agree with it. But to be honest, it's not in my place to judge, to be honest, because in a way,
And
it's
may
basically it's
subject
their
themselves.
decisions.
Are you still there, young Riaz?
Yes, of course, Mr.
Okay.
Ed, I'm right here.
All right. I think we lost connection a little bit. Hey there, Melly. How are you? So, your thoughts. Let me move this closer to the router. Your thoughts on that? Do you think age has any role in these type of surgeries?
It's a mixture, actually, though. It can be, ages varies, though. So basically, with the ages, both younger and older, I think it's a mixture of both of them. But with younger, it's kind of like, at their age and stuff, and what they see and what they consume kind of makes them feel the way they want to change and do stuff, basically. So it's like a combination of things.
Okay. So, were you able to see any of the videos? And even though this was a video from Miami, we know that there are underground places as well, and the surgeons that may not be trained, may not have the correct equipment or facilities, and may charge less. Do you think that these places should be investigated more? Because more and more reports come out, and this was a very sad story about this young lady who lost her life due to this BBL, and her friend admitted that she would be a hypocrite if she said anything any different, because she went back the very next week for her second BBL. So your thoughts on that, please, and thank you.
Okay, no problem. So my thoughts on that though is they should be investigated in a way, basically, and they should be, thoroughly checked beforehand, because, they could be licensed or not, and in a way they should be investigated, and they should be investigated because they're not professionally trained, and in a way they don't have the equipment and stuff, and it's very dangerous. So for the safety and everything, for safety reasons, it's the best. It's a safe bet to basically, what you call it, check. Investigate them, basically.
Okay, now as far as liability and culpability, and I know it's difficult for our younger people, but at a certain point, and this is just my opinion, I would believe, or I would tend to believe, that there have been many stories and reports where some of these procedures go horribly wrong. And as I showed earlier, the chart of the pros and cons, would you say that those that may be met with something unfortunate, they would have to take accountability as much as the surgeons, because these reports and this information is readily available? Or is it possible that because of their own reasons, personal, as far as aesthetics, they put it aside and just hope for the best turnout possible?
I'd say it's basically that there is some responsibility on the person who wanted it, and they do have there's a bit of accountability. So basically, in a way, they're responsible for their own actions for basically doing it, but at the same time, the person who performed it also has to take responsibility. So it's basically the responsibility doesn't fall on one person or the other; it falls on both people. And for the person that does it for their own reasons, that's kind of understandable. They do what they have to do, but in a way, you know, they should actually probably, fairly research and probably properly check and everything basically before actually, taking into the account if it's for them or not. So that's how I feel basically.
Okay. Hold on. I am responding to Rocco Jones. Hey there, Rocco Jones. I'm speaking to you and I'm asking you, hello, and why would you say that? Hold on. Thank you, young Riaz.
You're welcome.
I mean, I agree where you mentioned that as well as both taking responsibility. Bye bye, DXN TV. Thank you for joining. Um, Again, Miami is huge, but there are places in other countries where people go, hey there, Johnny Blaze. How are you? Happy Sunday. We're talking about the price of being pretty and plastic surgery, and it is definitely not specific to women. There are men as well that have these procedures. The link is there if you would like to add to this. If not, please make sure that you answer the poll question. We have young Riaz up on the panel who is giving his thoughts on the video that I showed and the pros and cons. I'm going to show a little bit more of the video and see if there's anything more that young Riaz would like to add. I know that you're in the younger age group, young
Yeah.
Riaz, so what would you say from your perspective? And again, everyone can agree to disagree, but from your perspective, your age group, and your religious beliefs, would you say to those in your age group as it relates to these plastic surgeries before one may venture out and consider having these done if it is not for a medical reason or reconstruction due to a very bad accident, as we discussed earlier?
So basically, for medical reasons, I can understand completely, but for like non-medical reasons and stuff like that, I don't think I agree though. Very much, the younger person, to be honest, I know some of it and everything. It's something not to consider to do. I mean, do what you have to do. I don't agree with it, and I prefer that they won't go for it because they look as good as they already are. They already look good. They already look amazing as they are. They don't need to change anything basically for non-medical reasons, basically like that. But in a way, I can't change everyone's mind basically. But in a way, me personally, I wouldn't agree, and I wouldn't actually suggest anyone else for non-medical reasons to go for it. But if they go for it, it's not in my place to stop them. But I can tell them, that I can suggest to it. I can give them suggestion. You can go for it or not. But if they don't want to take my suggestion, then that's okay.
Awesome answer. And last one, looking at some of the celebrities to include Little Kim, Janet Jackson, Beyonce, and countless others. Do you think that, oh, and J-Lo, who's actually in my age group. Now, I don't know if she's had any work or not, or any of them. There's rumors out there, but I never saw any surgeries. So I'm not going to speculate. But do you think our younger people, or perhaps older people, see the beauty in these women and perhaps would like to emulate that? Do you think that could be a motivating factor?
It can be motivating factor for most of them, though, depending on what state of mind they feel. So if they feel very low self-esteem, they don't feel confident in themselves, and then they see these types of, ladies basically, and what type of body they have and everything, and and how how they portray themselves. It kind of makes the person who's already not in that kind of good mind frame to wanting to go out and get it. So there is like a bit of influence there, but at the same time, where they also have, in a way, they have in a way they have control of how they think and what is best for them, basically. But there is a little bit of influence there as well.
No, I do agree with that wholeheartedly. So thank you, young Riaz. Do you have any final thoughts before I go back into a portion of this documentary?
All right, probably that's that. So is pretty much if they wanna get it, then okay, no problem. It's totally up to them. But anyways, though, thank you for having me up. I really appreciate it, and I hope everyone has a good day. I'm gonna go to the chat and stuff like that. But have a good day or night, wherever time you're in. And all right, bye.
Thank you, young Riaz, so much for your impact and appreciate you for joining in. And everyone, that was young Riaz. And we were speaking about the price of beauty. Right, a profit? I would love for you to come up, but I know your issues with your phone, so I'm not sure how much you were able to hear, but I'm going to share again a portion of this documentary, and it's speaking on a very unfortunate incident with a young lady who unfortunately lost her life due to the subsequent result of a BBL. So again, thank you to all that have joined in, and everyone, thank young Riaz, who joined the panel earlier and gave his opinion on these surgeries, and if it's something that he would advise to those in his age group, because he's pretty young, and as it relates to religious beliefs, which many do have, and some do not. Rocco Jones, now you're sitting here laughing. The link was there for you to express your thought, but as Johnny Blaze said earlier, and I've seen you before a couple of times, and I've given you my greetings and salutations, and I'm not sure. I will be live for maybe another hour, and then I have another one, but it is with someone else who will be interviewing me. So I'm not sure if I'll be screen sharing that. I'll have to see, but that's what I'll be doing. So let me, bye bye, Mama Hania. Thank you so much for joining. Well, thank you, Rocco. I would like to say that I believe all women have beauty. You may not like them, and I think that's kind of odd to say you don't really like a person if you don't know them. You may not like some of their ways or behaviors, but I believe all women, and men too, have an aspect in beauty, and it's all in the eyes of the beholder. Oh, it's going to be on someone else's platform. As a matter of fact, to make sure I check my messages before I get the link, but I'll send that out as well. That is, if that's what that person would like to do. And I anticipate it being around 8:30 or 9 o'clock. So again, good night, Mama. Thank you again. And let me go ahead and cue this back up. Thank you, Deja Vu. But yes, Rocco, I'm not sure what your relationship is or what stemmed that comment, but I have absolutely nothing. You're in Philly? Okay. To nothing negative to say about that individual at all. So not really sure where that came from, but I'm not surprised what people may say or do. But if it's negative, I would really prefer not to have that here. Again, people can express what they would like. I'm not going to censor anyone, but if it's in effort to start some stuff up, please do not do that. I appreciate that. And Rocco says, you are 42, no kids, and loving it. Well, good for you, sir. 42 and no kids. I was going to say something, but I'll reserve that for a later time. Need to feel you out first. So I'm about to share the screen. Hey there, all heart, grits, and grind. How are you? Oh, I don't have any beef with anyone. I was just asking why he made that comment about another content creator that I have no problem with. And I honestly don't want to have problems with anyone. Now, yes, most of you heard me go into my little rant last week, but that was 100% warranted. And as I said, I will not take back anything that I said. Okay, now Rocco says, I want a Dominican female. Okay. Well, hopefully you're doing the things that needs to be done to get your Dominican female. Hey there, Empress. How are you? So I'm going to share again, for those just coming in, a portion of this documentary. All heart, grit, and grind. I'm not sure what you're laughing at. I'm going to drop this one more time, but I want to share this documentary. So, Rocco, behave yourself. I don't know what you're smoking on or sipping on. I'm glad you're having a good time, but keep it light. Keep it light. And Ryder says, I love when I make love connections. Empress, the wonderful Georgia peach. So, that was a beautiful, beautiful greeting to you, Empress from Ryder. I mean, I may go off on that. Who knows? I'm always looking for different avenues to pursue. You never know. If others can do it, I'll always try something. And Rocco says, no, I'm not mad at you. Why would I be angry? I'm just saying I don't want any issues over here. That's all. That's all. No, if I were mad at you, obviously you didn't hear my live from last week. No, no trolls. But I've seen you before, so you're not really a troll. At least I don't believe that you are. But negative remarks against women, which you didn't actually, but you did ask about someone. So again, I don't understand what that was about. So I'm going to let that be. Oh, I've seen him before. several times. So I'm going to let him live for now. But I've got my eye on you, Rocco. I think everyone has their tools. And I'm about to share this again. Make sure you all answer the poll, please. Hey there, Wild Joker Ace. Wild Joker Ace, please put a 1 in the chat if you still have your tool. You should. All right, everyone. One moment. Okay. Hey there, Thaddeus. How are you? And Ryder says, no, I'm not mad. I don't get mad at irrelevant people, family, like you. Okay. And Thaddeus, this is, I believe, the first time that I see you over here. So let me make sure you have your tools before I share the screen for those that are just coming in here. And it's just a short snippet of a documentary about a young lady, beautiful young lady, who went to Miami to have a BBL and the outcome. And her friend, who is actually speaking on this and admitted that they had this. Let me Okay. Now, let me get back to the comments. See, Rocco, you threw everything off. So thank you for subbing up. And Empress is welcoming you in. And Rocco says, I love black female. My mom is black. Okay. You mentioned earlier, I'm not putting you on the spot, but hey there. Hey there, Mahogany. I just spoke on that earlier. So I'll wait for the time exactly and your link, and I'll be there. But right now we're speaking on Unpretty, the Price of Beauty. And Rocco said earlier that he wanted a Dominican lady. So, Rocco, would you like to explain what it is about Dominican women that you like? And hopefully I can get my video back up. That was at the right place. Hopefully I can get it back up. We'll see. And there's a poll there that you all can answer in the meantime. Yes, that's perfect. I'll be here for a little bit. And all heart, grit, and grind is saying, Rocco, huh? And okay, Rocco, you're saying they want a real man. Who wants a real man? Yes, Thaddeus, I'm going to have to agree with you on that. Okay, Rocco. Chat, if you all have any comments towards Rocco, and I already dropped the link earlier. Rocco, I think you're about to get pummeled. And if you do, you're talking. Well, first of all, you're saying they're too masculine. Do you mean masculine? I think before you should type, and you do know there's spell check and something called Google before you start typing in words, especially if you're trying to be a smart behind and you misspell words. Wild Joker Ace, I've seen Rocco, hey there, Rocco, many, many times. But this is the first I've seen him show his little behind. All right, Rocco, I'm going to give you like 5 more minutes to get everything off of your chest that you need to get off. So you have until 7:20. No, I'm not angry at all. As I said earlier, if I were angry, trust me, you would know it. Johnny Blaze, you know this individual. You've seen him many, many times. Again, I'm going to drop this for anyone. And this is for you too, Rocco. You don't know whether you do or not. I know this is not going to be a condensed all the smoke over here, but if you have anything you would like to get off since you're over here and I haven't blocked you or I haven't put you in the corner, as Johnny Blaze would say, where you can go ahead and tippity type, I'm going to have someone do that. And Johnny Blaze says, yes, he's a pain in the old backside, which we're speaking about right now. And Wild Joker Ace, Rocco, you have some people that have some things they're saying about you. Are you some type of gnat that happened to get over here? If he keeps it up, because he's not explaining, he's just stating how he feels without any type of any reasonings behind that. Now, if you're going to say something, and again, I'm not censoring you at all, but you said that Black women, what did you say? This is what Rocco Jones has said. Now, Rocco Jones, you're over here on this platform. Rocco Jones, Black women is off the chain. Rocco, the correct way, you should have worded that is. Black women are off the chain. A-R-E. Women is plural. So you use a singular. Okay? I like to, and I'm wrong in many cases, but I do right. And what you wrote is grammatically incorrect. So please don't taint the minds and the eyes and the virtual ears of the people over here. So please, moving forward, use spell check, a thesaurus, a dictionary, or whatever tools that are available to your little fingertips before you post up again. Please and thank you so very much. And okay, Rocco, you have 1 more minute because I like to keep my promises. And you didn't hit the link where you could have. And the poll is 75% no, 25% yes. So we're going to let little Rocco talk for a little bit while I cue this up. Okay, no problem, Ryder. Hey there, Elaine Channel. How are you? We're speaking about plastic surgery and a price that people pay to be beautiful. Hey there, Renita. How are you? Happy Sunday. Again, this is a small snippet from a documentary on a young lady who decided to have this surgery. And it's entitled Inside Miami's Deadly Plastic Surgery. And yes, I will be opening up the Dose Max Fund. Thank you, Renita. Happy Sunday to you too. Again, this is fair use under copyright section 107. This is a very sad story, but we've seen it so many times. And hopefully everyone is able to see this.
Question about it.
On the morning of May 10th, 2019, Dania arrived for her BBL at Mia Aesthetics. She sent her family this photo before her surgery. It was the last image of her alive.
The next thing I knew is that they called saying that she had a respiratory arrest. So we went to the hospital where she was taken from the clinic, and she was dead already.
This video was taken that day.
And that's when we noticed that she wasn't breathing well. And it was that moment that we called 911. I mean, we didn't wait a second.
By 11:55 a.m., Dania was pronounced dead. Dania died of a pulmonary fat embolism, which happens when fat is accidentally injected into the veins, stopping the heart.
One thing is losing your parents, your old parents, but kids and grandkids, that's a very different animal.
And I would never forget going to her funeral. I remember her daughter was still wearing a white dress, screaming to the top of her lungs for her mom.
Did you wish that you had talked to her about BBLs, or did it even change your thoughts about your own surgery?
If I would have said that, I would have been a hypocrite because I was going in the next week. She died a week before my surgery, my second surgery. And you know how it is. You pay for all that money. There's no refund. There's no refund.
And how many friends do you have that have had BBLs?
All of them,
All of your friends?
all my friends have had BBLs.
As BBLs continue to grow in popularity each year, we wanted to understand what happened to Dania and how these surgeries can go wrong.
These are just kind of general surgical instruments. Here you got your scissors to cut the sutures. This is your pickup.
So we went to meet with a plastic surgeon who not only performs them, but teaches other doctors how to do them safely.
So this is the count. This is what we use for liposuction, and that's the fat that you have for transfer. So what makes it risky? So it really has to do with the anatomy and in the buttock region. There are large vessels there just beneath the gluteal muscle. And if fat gets into these vessels, it clogs up the lungs. It's what we call a fat embolism.
And that would cause instant death.
Pretty much.
Can cause instant death.
Yeah.
Since 2015, 21 women, including Dania, have died in Florida after having Brazilian butt lifts. Alarmed by these deaths, a number of plastic surgery groups formed a task force to look into why they were happening.
Thank you.
This is the autopsy report for Dania Plasencia.
Yes, I witnessed her autopsy.
And was that something that could have been avoided?
Yes,
She did not need to die from having fat injected. I mean, like, that was not the proper way to do the procedure. Is that correct?
that's correct. No one needs to die from this procedure. If doctors can just avoid putting fat into the muscle, if there's no fat into the muscle, the patients will not die.
Okay, your thoughts on that portion of the documentary. And Empress, I know that you're in here, and anyone else. Again, that was fair use under copyright section 107. And you heard the young lady say that 21 of her friends, or all of her friends, yes, all of her friends. And if you look at her, to me, she's absolutely beautiful. But again, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And young Riaz was up here earlier, and he was speaking, as well as Deja Vu, who said, we are perfectly made. And for believers, we hear this often. We also know that we have a population that may not be spiritual or believe in religion and have other beliefs. So if you saw her face, again, to me, I thought she was beautiful, but apparently she didn't feel as though her backside was enough. And as I mentioned earlier, what I have that's dropped, and at age, I'm going to go ahead and give myself 55 already, even though my birthday isn't until November, God willing. I'm 54. It is what it is. And I really didn't start to get a backside, and I don't have a big one now. It's sufficient, but not until around age 30 when I started to get back out there and start working out. My mother, bless her soul, used to call me panty cake. Not pancake, but panty cake, because that's what I had going on behind. But even then, I never see. That is, I didn't say that for you to laugh. I'm saying it because I'm being very transparent and honest about it. Just flat. Like the flat earth, for those who believe in that, that's what I had. And I've actually had suitors, if you will, who would actually say, you're lucky you have a cute face. And I'm like, you really just said that? Because some of you gentlemen, yeah, I mean, that is, I've heard it all. I've heard it all, from applehead to pancake to um, my back looking like my butt. But as I said, that was up until age 30. I've got a little bit of cake now. Not a lot, but I'm happy with it. But some of you gentlemen, and I put up earlier until we were interrupted by Rocco Jones, some of the prices. And I mentioned that these surgeries are not limited. Yes, ironing board. I heard it all, didn't care. I still don't care. But again, I'm much older. Some of the younger women may be more interested in that. And I think, as I mentioned earlier, social media has a lot to do with it, and perhaps self-esteem as well. I'm good inside of my skin. As far as the upper and lower region, at this point in my life, and this is just for me, I'm good with that. But the prices that I put up earlier, and you all can check those out after the broadcast if you choose to. There are some men out there that have elected to have, how can I put it, lower region enlargements. Yes, you're from Italy, Renita. So if I'm up early enough in the morning before it's time for me to jet out for work, I'll drop by. Thank you so much for coming by to show love. Truly appreciate it. Hey there, Pierre. What is this? Pierre? Like TV. Welcome. And Empress said she never had a big one either. And All Heart Grits and Grind says that was rude to say. You know what? Like I said, I've heard it all. Trust me. But yes, some of you men have elected to have some of these surgeries to increase a certain area. And I was on a live yesterday, and it was a Zoom call. And I don't know if the gentleman knew it or not, but he was just laid back, lounging in his little teeny shorts. You know those shorts? I used to call them ball buster shorts that the basketball players back in my era used to wear, like Larry Bird and um, who else? Just the players in the era of the 80s. They would wear their uniforms. They were little teeny tight shorts. And this guy that was on a Zoom call yesterday had these shorts on. And I'm like, if you don't go put some covers on or something, because what I saw, well, I'm going to leave that alone. Yeah, because a lot of times they forget that just because they're about to be queued up, their camera may come on. And again, a lot of men talk about women, their attributes, and they don't think about their own shortcomings. And trust me, that little fella had some shortcomings. And I don't know that he didn't realize he was the next up, but I would have covered that up. But yeah, if you Google Larry Bird or who else? Patrick Ewing was another one when he was in Georgetown. All of their shorts at that time, their uniforms were just small, and the shorts were so tiny. They have room in there now, thank God, because some of them, I'm going to leave that alone. But yes, Ryder, there are guys getting surgery to make their, absolutely. I had that up earlier, but again, as I said, we were interrupted, and everything I had pulled up kicked me all the way out. And I'm going to try to find it again because I had the prices and everything. And I'm going to have to do it anyway to make sure it's included in the video. But yes, so when men are out here speaking about women getting all of these surgeries and things that women do, some of you gentlemen are doing the exact same things. And this should be it. Absolutely. Just want to pull the chart up. And this is from Awesome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you can look at the prices. All Heart Grits and Grind says covers, yes. If you saw what I saw, and being a man, I don't want to speak for you, but I'm sure you would not have wanted to see that. I turned my head quickly. Ryder says, okay, Empress, let me check. I'm bad with these social media things. And right, she better accept me for me, big or small. I have feelings too, damn it. Well, that's another topic. Size, many people have discussed this before. And Empress, your Georgia peach is laughing at you. So again, this is fair use. Hopefully it doesn't get hung up. And it details the prices on some of these surgeries. So here are the butt lifts. I went over this earlier. And you have the liposuction, thigh lifts, and tummy tuck. And breasts. And as I mentioned earlier, to me, because there are men out here, for whatever reasons, medical histories or medical situations where they too have breasts. Some I've heard have had serious issues. So it's not limited to just women. Look at the prices. The highest being breast reconstruction. And I would think that may have to do with certain medical conditions or perhaps accident victims, perhaps burn victims, any type of horrific situations may call for such a surgery. And you're looking at almost $50K for that. And here we go. Ryder and the other gentlemen that are in the chat and who may get to this replay. Bam! Wee enlargement. Almost $8,000. Now, you're going to have many Scooby snack donations a day if you need this type of surgery. And if you look up here, you have gender affirming surgery. And this very first one, a hood reduction. I'm not going to touch that at this time, but I'm sure most of us in here should know exactly what that is. Which link do you need? Uh-oh. I think Empress is getting ready to start something. Don't come up here acting like Michael Jackson, Empress. Hey there, Uncle L. So yes, Ryder, as you could see, there are surgeries for men to increase their wee-wees. And in my opinion, it's just my opinion, I don't think those surgeries have anything to do with any type of accidents. And again, that's just my opinion. I could be wrong. But again, those are the prices for such surgeries. And as you could see, many of them are quite expensive. And my question has been and is, would you pay any of those prices to be beautiful or handsome? Again, this is not limited to just women. We know that as we age, certain things are not the same. We lose elasticity. Women do, men do. We see it in celebrities and with our regular day-to-day people. So while Rita and Empress goes back, I dropped the link. I guess that's what you were asking for. I'm not sure, Empress. Oh, there you go. Hi there, Miss Empress.
Oh, you were waiting on me, wasn't you?
I'm curious as to what you would like to contribute to this because Mr. Ryder asked a question and I'll put it back up. He asked if men have those surgeries. And I just showed here it is, the price list. And he asked, wait, guys are getting surgery to make their parts bigger. How does that work? Now, you'll have to do your research on that, but absolutely. I actually saw a video where a surgeon was speaking how men actually go in to have these surgeries. As a matter of fact, it was on Tasha K's platform. This has been months ago, and that's when I first heard of it. So, welcome everyone, Empress Goddess, and your thoughts on the subject of price of beauty and anything you would like to add.
All right. Greetings, though, I love. Greetings to the family, all in
You
the
too,
chat.
sweetie.
Yeah, I just want to say, like I say, me, for a long time, I kind of struggled too, with self-esteem, especially growing up, in school, being, dark skinned, because, there's always a thing with the dark skinned people and the high yellow, as we call them. But, but I got to learn, I had to come to realize that, what, God made everyone different, and I love me for who I am. I never consider having any kind of surgery. If you can't take me, I'm like, right. If you can't take me how you like I am, then you can kick rocks. Because it is what it is. What you see is what you get. Because that's the problem with most men now. They talk about with the how they be bashing us black women and stuff on these different platforms. They always looking for a woman that's got a big behind and a small waist and a cute face, and then they wonder why that they can't keep no damn women, no wife, because y'all looking for the wrong attributes. You need to be trying to look at what a person have in their mind, in their head, not the outer beauty of it. Just like I said, beauty's on the skin deep.
And I agree, but as Graham, and I'm sure, oh Lord, he may not come up. I haven't seen him in a bit, but he has mentioned several times about attributes. And other men have mentioned that they're visual. So I don't really think I can argue that point as far as being visual creatures, but at some point, we all, if we are blessed or if it's in our destiny, we age and we're not going to look the same, or other issues could impact what we looked like years ago until now. And another thing, gentlemen, you all, according to many statistics, this isn't from me, but many statistics, and Miss Empress, I believe, because you do cards, you would know this as well. A lot of men expire a lot sooner than women.
That's true, and see, a lot of people don't understand. You know, the church, tried to demonize sex and everything, but sex is a spiritual act. That's why you can't go around just expelling your sexual energy to just anybody. And men see that's why when men get up in age, much older, they start having erectile dysfunction. It's because they don't expel too much of their sexual energy. You can't just do that.
Absolutely. And these surgeries may be new. However,
Oh, yeah,
these
that's what I want. That's what I asked. I want to speak over before I forget. Yes, you do. To rather, yes, they do have surgeries that you can have where some people they can have a penile implant put in there, like what the Playboy had, Hugh Hefner, where you just put one of them things in there, and you can just pump up your penis when you get ready.
Now, Graham said one time, and I thought I was going to fall out. He told me, and I still haven't done it because I just know that my eyes are going to be filled with tears from laughter. But on a stream, not sure if you heard him or not, said a judge was behind his little desk or table or whatever you call it. And he actually had one of those pumps that you spoke of. And just the imagery of that whole thing, I was in stitches. But yes, I mean, those things are out there. But I used to see coming up, and this has been maybe 10, 15, maybe 20 years ago, pills, these quote unquote enhancement pills.
The Viagra and everything.
No, you could actually get these pills from like the gas stations. Like people, you could buy those just like you could get the backwoods and anything else that you would want.
Oh
And
yeah, oh yeah, all of these little neighborhood stores, you know, the Indians own all of them. Yeah, they have all kinds of them back there behind the counter.
absolutely. And I'm telling you, and I shared this story one time. This was a good while ago. I mean, a good while ago. But this older guy, I'm sorry. I understand some people can be natural in certain things, but I'll just keep it cute and classy and say that that wasn't natural. That that situation was not, to me, natural at all. Hey there, Jill's chocolate. No, absolutely not. I believe that there was consumption of a pill or something, but had I not come up with a headache, that individual was not going to kill me. And I was much younger. So, yeah, men engage in certain things as well. They may not be as transparent as women, or it may not be as obvious as some women. However, they do. I put the charts up there, and you could probably do a Google search on Tasha K. But you're sitting there laughing, Empress. I kid you not. I kid you not. And I know they say age is nothing but a number, but damn it, I'm going to stand on what I believe in. That was unnatural. Indeed. Hey there, deja vu. But yes, All Heart Grit and Grind said they sell those at gas stations now. So you're down in the South. Do you see that still, Empress?
Yes, right down the street from my house, you can get them. You can get them. They even have pills for women.
Okay, pills for women, but for what? What are the women taking pills for?
To help with this, to help enhance their sexual uh arousement as well.
Oh, wow. So do you see that it's, hey there, Big Pontiac? Is it the younger women or the older women? Because to be honest, I've not seen those. I mean, I'm not going out looking for them, but when I go into the little convenience marts or whatever, I mean, you can still see these enhancement pills and all of those things, but I've never seen them specifically for women.
Oh yeah. Oh look, I've tried one of them. They're called
Uh-oh.
what is it called? I'm trying to think of Pink Pussycat.
Oh my, I'm glad you put cat on the end of that and didn't just use that. Phew, thank you, Lord. So what was that is supposed to, well,
It's
I,
supposed to enhance your sex drive. kept boosting sex drive, you know, for a better sexual experience, but it give you a headache. So I tried it one time, one or two times. I said, what the heck with that?
So you said, okay, Ryder is trying to come up. Ryder, if you can hear me, your device is not connected. So you said, I'm sorry, Empress. You
Look,
said he gave you a
listen.
headache?
I'm 47 years old, so look, I'm kind of going through that, you know, that stage in life. So you know, sometimes I need a boost.
No, I mean, no judgment, no judgment at all. I've got you by several years, but I'm celibate, so, and I have been for 5 years, and I've said that before. So you said he gave you a headache.
Yeah, because they
Do you
will get
think?
you in there. Yeah, I guess because I don't know. I guess because it be so strong, whatever they put in there.
But did it? Did you receive outside of a headache any
Oh, yeah, it do wake
improvements?
up.
Now, let me ask you this, and again, not judging or anything like that. Do you think that because you believed it was going to do what it said it was going to do, it could have been a placebo, or do you believe it actually did what it was supposed to do and you didn't have your mind set on believing beforehand, well, this is going to work? Because sometimes, in my opinion, and I could be wrong, so just let me know if I am. And this is just for you, not for everyone. But do you think that sometimes we'll read something and our thoughts are so deeply on it, we'll believe it when it could be that we've actually brought it into existence because our minds are so powerful? Or do you think whatever ingredients, I would love to know what was in there, actually did what it was supposed to do for you?
Well, yeah, because sometimes they don't work, but you have to be, you know, I don't know. It might be it's a mind thing too. I believe. Yeah, I believe it's also a mind thing as well. Because you know that's what it do. It be sending like dopamine or something to your, you know, to your brain to kind of help boost your, to help boost. So I think I think it's both physical and mental.
Okay, writer. Okay, Big Cognac, thank you. And you have your tool now. And right, this is Jesus. This is so annoying. My browser won't allow. You may have to refresh, Ryder, because you came up, but it stated that you needed to um, reconnect. And that's what happened to me earlier. I actually had to get out and get back in and get closer to the router. So, Empress, your thoughts on these BBLs and the portion of the documentary that I showed. How do you feel about that?
That's sad, you know. You know, my heart breaks for that. But I feel like that's a self hate thing. People don't look. We as black people, we don't love ourselves. So we feel like we have to do these things that, you know, to enhance our beauty to fit into society. You know, because it always been like a stigmatism. You know, especially for us big women. You know, it always been. You know, when every time you looked in the magazine, it was always these skinny women. You know, tall, and you know, it's just the way society has programmed everybody.
Absolutely, but she wasn't black or African American or whatever color you want to put on us. I think she was Latina or of another ethnicity, and or that was her father that was speaking earlier. So I'm not really sure where she was from. Um, you had to connect your device, writer. I'm not sure what's going on. Try to refresh it, like go all the way out and come back in. So I see you coming up, but there you go. Finally. Hey, writer. 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 Now, Empress Writer is up here, but I can't hear him.
His
Writer,
mic must his mic must be muted.
well, it might be muted on his end, but I haven't muted him. So until he begins to speak, he's finally up here. We'll continue. But no, I think she was from um, another country, but she went to Miami.
Hey, Doaz, hey, Empress. I don't know if you guys can hear me, but
Yeah, I can hear
probably you
you.
can because I see the thing on the screen moving. But I'm trying to find how to turn the volume up because I can't hear you guys.
I can hear you.
God, I swear this technology.
I'm here, Empress. You can
I can,
unmute.
I can hear you fine. No, like I say, it's just really, it's the way society has programmed everybody. Black women, especially us women, because women have been, have gone through just as much as us as a black people as a society. So it's just a stigmatism, I think, against women in certain racial groups, ethnic groups.
Well, what about Kim Kardashian? I mean, when you think about certain types of work, that's who a lot of people, I guess, model themselves after. And I believe, again, I wasn't there, but she may have been one that may have had work, and she's looked at to be um, beautiful in the eyes of many people. Your thoughts on that? And she's definitely not African American or black, but again, many
People
are.
with listen, people with money, they don't have nothing else to do. But I mean, to each his own. But for me, I wouldn't do it.
And is it because of your beliefs, like young Riaz said earlier, financially, or you're made perfect by the Creator?
I just feel like if a person don't can't love me for who I am or the way I look right now, then I don't need that person. Why do I need to change my appearance to try to satisfy a man or anyone else to like me or love me?
Okay, writer, are you up yet?
Yeah, I'm good now. Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine. Well, welcome, and finally,
Appreciate that.
after
How you
months,
doing?
I'm doing well. Well, Georgia Peach is up here, and Ryder is up here. Your thoughts, Ryder, on the snippet of the documentary and any other comments you may have. And thank you so much for joining.
Oh no, no, you're more than welcome. How you doing, Empress?
I'm doing well, love. How are you doing?
Good, 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 good. All right, so this is my whole take on the whole situation about the BBL. Unfortunately, we live in a society where there's a lot of pressure on women to stand out. So if you actually look at it, it's like being in a competition. And with social media and all the pressure and everything that's going on, you're trying to outdo the other person. So a lot of women, because of low self-esteem, in my opinion, they turn to be, the BBLs to get the bigger butt. So that way, I guess they can, feel more confident in them, in themselves or whatever. Because if you look at it, society is actually, to be blamed, if you ask me. So when I hear somebody that's, passed away from like a BBL surgery, unfortunately, it's sad, but I don't have a lot of sympathy for the simple fact that why would you risk your life? Just be happy with what God gave you. Like Empress said, take me out, as I am. And, you know, that's the truth. I can't look past that. But it's a lot of factors that goes into it, but it's just crazy to me. But that's my opinion on that.
Okay, I'm glad you mentioned that, and I put down in the chat, because I mentioned that earlier when young Riaz was up here, and my question was, if I can remember it, it centered around the accountability factor and culpability. And it mirrors a little bit of what you said as to most of these women, I believe, are over the age of 18. Number one. Number two, there has been plenty of documentation, stories, reports on some of the risks that can occur, not do occur, but can occur. And with having all of this knowledge, and that was my question, should some of these individuals, sadly, that may have succumbed to botched surgeries, be held just as accountable? And again, my condolences to all. And I don't want to sound cruel. And I know that your comment wasn't cruel, but Do you think others have the same, or do you think there may be some others that would say those comments or thoughts or feelings are unwarranted? And I'll take your comment, write it, and then Empress after that.
Well, to be honest with you, we all have a choice to make. And the choice, it could be good, it could be bad, it could be negative, it could be positive. So you have to take accountability, for anything that you do. Like you said earlier, the risk when you go in there. This is why they have you sign waivers. So if anything happens, you can't sue them, but you have to say to yourself, it's also a 50-50, a 50-50 chance if you're going to make it out or not. So, I mean, why put yourself in that position, to risk your life like that? So, yeah, you have to be accountable for your own actions. I mean, we do it all the time, but I don't want to sound cold, but like I said, if you pass away from this surgery, it's hard for me to have sympathy. It really is, because you already know the risk. Not only that, if you're a mother and you have kids, when you sign that waiver, are you thinking about your kids that probably you might not be around, or you're just being selfish and thinking about yourself? And 9 out of 10 times, you're thinking about yourself. You know what I'm saying? So accountability, it goes both ways, but it's more on the person getting the surgery than anything else. And hey, that's how I look at it.
Okay, Empress. And after Empress's comment, hey, The John Show, how are you? We're talking about um, the price of beauty. And I did a quick overview of a documentary. And Ryder, I'm not sure if you saw all of it. It'll be on the replay. But the father didn't know. And the irony is the father was actually a medical professional. And he said if he knew, he would have cautioned her or he was against it. So she hid that from him. So, Empress, you're up next. And welcome to everyone.
Yeah. Welcome to everyone in the chat. Yeah, Ryder, how you doing, love?
Good, 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 mama.
Yeah, like I said, it's just I really don't know what to say. Tell you the truth, I really never could understand, why people would want to go have all that plastic surgery and everything. Because after you have so many of them, they start looking artificial. They don't even look real after they've had so many of those surgeries. I just don't. I don't know. It's just me. Don't have anything to do with religion or the way I was raised. I just don't approve of it. Now, I mean, that's something I wouldn't do. Like I say, whoever want to do it, they can do it. But I just feel like you should be satisfied with the way the Lord made you, because He made everyone, uh, like I say, differently. He created everyone to be their own individual. Everyone wasn't meant to look the same.
Okay, Deja Vu says, I find that some people want things today instantly. Absolutely. And I've said this before. I believe, and this is my opinion, that we're in a microwave society. We want things lickety split. And Deja Vu continues with, unless you change your lifestyle with eating and exercise, you will eventually go back to the weight, I'm sorry, you paid to get rid of. And Deja Vu follows up with, be
Now,
comfortable with
but
yourself.
I ain't want to knock you out, but see, now I can see why maybe some people have to have that if it's like maybe a health risk, if it's something that where the weight is something concerning their health, and they need to probably have maybe like that lap band surgery, to lose weight. I can kind of go with that because that's something that's going to help prevent them, to help sustain their life, to keep, to help them lose the weight they need to lose to stay healthier. Because some people, but everybody's metabolism is different. So some people probably do need a little help losing weight. So I can go with that. But all this other stuff with getting these shots in your lips and shots in your butt and all that, and getting your breast. Hell, I got my breast too big now. I want to get rid of some of this. I don't need no enlargement.
Well, some people may disagree, but speaker of truth, I haven't seen you before, but welcome. And he has stated, And hopefully, writer and Empress, you can see his message or her message. It says it's a false image implemented in our minds through social norms and social pressure. It's mostly these pharmaceutical companies pushing it through music and quote culture, end quote. And Deja Vu follows up with to concentrate on your health. Try fasting, exercise, and a lifestyle change. Your thoughts on what the Speaker of Truth says again is a false image implemented in our minds through social norms and social pressures. I think that's key pressures. It's mostly these pharmaceutical companies pushing it through music and culture.
Well, I
And
said that. I
yeah,
said that earlier that it was, it was just it was social programming.
And I have to agree with that statement 100, because like I said earlier, social media, all these pressures that, women are going through to, look better and everything, it she's right. It drives all that, through the roof, because everybody's trying to compete. You have to understand now, we live in a society, look at it like as if you're looking at the animal kingdom. Only the fittest survive. And unfortunately, these young women that we have today, they're getting all these surgeries so they can, one up each other. And the young lady, what she wrote on the screen, she's 100% right, and that's what it is. It's the pressure to try to advance or to outbeat your competition. I mean, you see it all the time. Look at YouTube, look at TikTok, look at Twitter. That's all you see now. They're shaking their behind, or something, extraordinary. So I do agree with that. So yeah, it's a pressure and everything that comes with it. My opinion.
okay. Are you still there?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm done. Yeah.
Okay. No, I was listening. Speaker of Truth says deja vu, absolutely. Intermediate fasting and giving up artificial and processed foods, especially sugars. And then deja vu follows up with healthy tips can be found on my channel, Doise. Well, I absolutely will have to go and look at your channel, and I implore others to check out Deja Vu. You should have links to be able to get there. Or Deja Vu, if you would like, you can drop your link in the chat so others can find you, if you don't mind. So I was asking earlier, as far as social media is concerned, maybe not so much as you, Empress, but Rita, I think you've been around, was quite a few as I have, and in a particular sector, or actually, no, let me not say that. There's several, but a lot of these men like to call women over 50 old, wrinkled, decrepit. I mean, horrible names. And even some that are younger don't make disparaging remarks about their upper and lower regions as if they've actually had eye to eye or physical contact with them. So that could push some people, in my opinion, to maybe having a little work done. Maybe not to the extent of that particular documentary, but I mean, maybe extrapolating some fatty tissues from certain areas or to help expedite whatever health regimen they may be on. Do you see that being an issue? Because some of the names, honestly, that are called, if I wasn't at the place where I am now, well, actually, when I was at my heaviest, um, I still wouldn't elect to have surgery, but it would probably push me to where I may get depressed or have low self-esteem behind it.
So as I have to drop down, I have a phone call coming in, but I'll be in the chat.
Okay, thank you so much, Empress.
No worries.
All right, you take care. So, your thoughts on that, Ryder? Because, I mean, you saw earlier where Mr. Rocco came up. He's gone now, but your thoughts on that? And we see it and hear it often. Thank you,
Um,
Deja Vu. I'm sorry, Ryder.
no, that's fine. Yeah. First of all, Rocco, he's an idiot, so he's irrelevant to the conversation. But what you have to realize, though, eyes, if you look at this particular sector that we're in, right, a lot of men display female tendencies, and they don't call it the dirty section for no reason. So a lot of times you won't really find anything beneficial about it. But let me just make it simple. This is YouTube, and everybody's going to go back and forth, with each other, because you have to understand, unfortunately, when you talk about educational stuff, for example, you won't pull that much people in your chat. But when you talk about drama, calling women out of their names, women acting real, because I've never seen so many masculine women in this sector of YouTube than anywhere else. But I mean, to be honest with you, you can't really expect too much of positivity out of this sector of YouTube. So I guess you just gotta roll with the punches. And like I said the other day, a lot of these people, they work behind the scenes, if you ask me, in my opinion, in order to get cash apps, in order to get views and clicks. So, you know, you might be cool today, and then you fall out tomorrow, and then a week later you guys are cool again, and you're like, okay, I'm completely confused. But I mean, I wouldn't give it much thought, or try to, go too deep in depth, about it. Cause like you, I've never seen you mad before, and when I saw you upset the other day, I'm like, wow, is this Doe Eyes? Somebody really got her mad. But I don't know. It's just a sector. It's drama. It's messy. It's beef. It's for clicks and views, cash app, super chat. It is what it is. Sometimes you can't really take it serious. The guys I can't really take serious sometimes. I'm not saying all of them, but most of them. And then a lot of the women, they're too masculine, and I don't know. It's all over the goddamn place. I
You're
don't know if that.
absolutely right. And no, I'm usually calm. And I've said before, if you really get me on a bad day, you're going to see a side of me that you're going to be like, whoa. And that particular incident really got me. And again, we already know that there's a handful of people here that go from chat to chat, starting drama. And when I saw that particular troll, I mean, my discernment is pretty strong. I knew eventually something was going to happen, and it did. And it just truly set me off, and I had to get it out, and I did. And as I said, I'm not going to take it back. I meant every word of it, and I stand on it. For people that are that miserable in their lives that they have to follow people around and try to basically throw dirt on their names when it's not even accurate, number one, for whatever reasons that they have. And you made a very, very accurate and poignant point earlier. There are people definitely talking and working behind the scenes, and they're doing things to, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, but doing things to pages and combing through, looking for the smallest things to go and report. And as I said, I don't really like to engage in that behavior. Whatever steps I have to take, if I feel it's needed, will be off of YouTube. I think that's the adult and responsible thing to do. Everybody is not going to agree with that, and that's fine, but that's how I choose to handle what I have going on, because people are getting to the point now They're not going to stop. It's like a drug. You're trying to get that first high, if you will, until someone seriously gets hurt, or God forbid, something worse. If they keep this up, you know, doxing people and pulling up on people, people are still going through the effects of 2020. And you get somebody that's quiet, or who you assume is timid or weak, they'll be the ones to lay you flat. So people should stop taking people for granted just because they appear to be quiet. Those are the ones you have to watch. So I don't want that. I don't want that. And unfortunately, until it becomes real and arrives at someone's door, people aren't going to stop. And Deja Vu says, no, I'm sorry, Speaker of Truth says, Deja Vu, I had to learn the hard way. I got up in weight to the point I couldn't even breathe, and started doing water fast and intermediate fasting, and lost, oh my goodness, 140 pounds. I feel amazing, especially mentally. Well, congratulations to you. And let me get these other comments up really quickly. And Deja Vu says, Speaker of Truth, I'm happy to hear that. Keep up the good work, and remember, we are what we eat. And Speaker of Truth says, Deja Vu took my toll, my late 20s, to learn, but you're absolutely right. And Deja Vu says, Speaker of Truth, fortunately, I was raised like that. Certain things we were not allowed to eat as children, and I've carried that into my adulthood. That's absolutely wonderful. And Speaker of Truth says doxing people is very dangerous. Yes, it is, because all it takes is one dumb or crazy person to do something unfortunate. Absolutely, and I just said that. And I think the last comment is, I just love me just the way God made me, perfect in his image. And your thoughts on that, Ryla?
About the comments or the doxing or
Yes.
well,
If you were able to see the comments, I mean, they're talking about incorporating exercise and fasting, basically a healthier lifestyle. And then I was going into the comments where how some people are going into doxing and these big reveals. Just to me, just me. I mean, others, that's their form of entertainment. I'm not going to knock it, but I just think, as Speaker Truth says, it's dangerous because you don't know what else someone is going through, and that could be a trigger to someone, and you don't know who knows who.
all right. So when it comes to the doxing, and all right, this is what is crazy to me, right? We're talking about adults that supposedly, they have kids. And just because you have kids doesn't really change your mindset. But think about it. You're an adult, you have kids, and you're playing kids' game like this, and this is how you act. So if they're acting like this on social media, I could only imagine how they are off social media. But then again, what we have to understand also, a lot of people, and I've said this before, a lot of people try to replicate a persona that they can't do in real life. So when they come on YouTube, because they know they can't be touched, they become keyboard warriors. The doxing, I never understood that. Why would you want to dox somebody over social media, over YouTube beef? I mean, I don't think it's that serious. And unfortunately, in this sector, I see this all the time, especially from women, men also. But I'm more disappointed when women act like that because they're supposed to be mothers, right? But they're acting ratchet and masculine. I mean, that's not attractive. And then you have these simp beta males who egg this shit. I mean, sorry, egg this stuff on and like give them approval. Like this is something nice. This is something cool. That's not womanly like. But then again, like I said, the women are becoming masculine, and the guys, especially a lot in this sector, not all, as become, very feminine, chatty patties, I would like to call them. But it's just, I don't know. I just don't get it. I guess because I think on a different level. I don't think like everybody else, more on a mature level. So me doxing, acting ratchet, acting ghetto, it it it, it just boggles me because number one, I wasn't raised like that, and number two, I don't see how people can act like that. But then again, like I said, the sector that you're in, that's all you're gonna see. But yeah, it is what it is. It's all for entertainment, like everybody says, right?
Well, until, as I mentioned earlier, it comes knocking at their door. I mean, don't get me wrong, jokes and roasting to me is fine, but where do you draw the line from what is actually considered as roasting or blatant harassment? To be honest, because at a
But
point, to me, it will fall into that line if you're doing it. And I spoke about this last night. If it's continued over and over and over and over, especially if a person warns you and lets you know what you're doing is harassing me, please stop, and you continue to do it. And I'm not sure if people realize this, that trolls, I'm not talking about the ones that make foolish comments, but the ones that follow you around and cause problems, they can get in trouble too off of YouTube if you know the right avenues to have that person pursued or those people pursued. Deja Vu says, I've had to unsubscribe to many channels. This has become totally unacceptable and out of control. We as a people have to do and be better, in my opinion. Absolutely. Your thoughts on that, Ryder?
well, I'm sorry. 1 second. Let me read the comment again. Yeah, I do agree with it. We do have to do better, but then again, this is how you have to look at it also. A lot of victims are people who proclaim that they're victims. They're also, in the mess, and they have victimized people also. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you can't really, you got to look at it, both ways. Don't put yourself in a situation to where you're going to get harassed. For example, when you're a content creator, I can see content creators going back and forth with each other and stuff like that. So if it's supposed to be roasting and people just supposedly having fun and doing all that, then I don't see the point of like wanting to dox, wanting to go meet up with the person, because I've seen a lot of people, or not a lot, but a few people on YouTube's, without calling names, and they're pulling up at people's house. And like you said, though, I mean, you don't know what that person is thinking when you pull up. For me, I stay in Florida, right? And it's a stand your ground state. If I had a beef with somebody over YouTube, which would be ridiculous, and they showed up at my house, you don't think I would fear for my life? It's just weird. So the comment that's on the screen right now, I absolutely agree with that, because there's a lot of people that I used to follow, but I don't follow anymore, because it's after a while, the drama and the constant beefing, it gets exhausting. And I would like to think that I'm a somewhat intelligent person, and I only watch drama and beef for entertainment if I'm bored or whatever. But usually I'm more into intellectual stuff. Example, your channel, I like coming over here because you're not in the mess, you're not in the drama, you're not going after people. You actually have real topics. But the problem is your numbers won't reflect that, for the simple fact of the sector that you're in. You know what I mean? Because people are so used to drama and all this nonsense that when you're speaking that, you'll have you'll have 100, 200 people in your chat. But when you start talking about something that's constructive, important, shit, you're lucky if you can break like even 100, you know. But it's I don't know. That's just my thought. I mean, I don't know if I answered the question, but I'm probably just rambling right now.
No, you answered it. You answered it thoroughly, and you're absolutely right. There are a lot of people that, to me, have good content. Um, they talk about history. Uh, Now, the ones that are more seasoned, if you will, then yes, you have to mingle and get out there, and that's what I've been doing as far as networking. And yes, you're going to get the ebbs and flows, but it's the drama and the backwards and forth. We all know that brings the traction. Again, I'm not going to knock anyone's hustle, but the problem I have is with the manufactured issues because honestly, to me, the game remains the same. The only thing that changes are the players. And if you look at some, if you just look and pay attention to some of the chats, you already know, um, you'll know the players basically, and who, as you said, that are keeping things going. Hey there, Sukmu, how are you? Happy Sunday. And Speaker Truth says the problem is when it's beef, you'll have, this is basically mirrored what you just said, you'll have 5 times as many people in the chat, and that's what keeps people motivated to start and continue, quote unquote, beef. Positive content just doesn't get the numbers, sadly. Hey
Can I?
there, that's
I'm sorry.
good, but please don't spam the chat. Sec, please. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry,
Can I?
Ryder.
Can I touch on that though? When you're finished. When you're finished.
No, I'm done.
All right. So and wait, who made that comment? Who wrote that comment?
Speaker of truth. Let me put it back up for you.
Yeah, please.
There you are.
All right. Problem with people. It's fine. People that try to keep it continue to be positive content doesn't get the number. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And what I want to add to that also, your there's a saying, you know, your first impression is your lasting impression. So if people are used to you, you know, putting out content that is constantly beef and drama, that's what they first judge you by, saying, all right, this is what this person has established. He's a beef and drama type of person. So when that very same person doesn't want to do that anymore and they want to do something positive, then you won't get looked at the same, and people won't really, you know, they won't join your chat. They'll fall back because the first impression that they got from you was that, you know, you're this beef person, you know how to roast. But when you start to talk about positive stuff, then you don't see, you know, they don't show up at all. Perfect example, I'm not going to call out any YouTuber's name, but you have a particular YouTuber, male, you know, he'll talk about beef, the back and forth and stuff like that, and he'll pull in, you know, quite a good amount of views. But then he'll have lives where this person might be talking about religion, they might be talking about sports, they might be talking about something else, and the most they'll probably pull in that live or chat is probably, if they're lucky, 15 or 20 people, because they're not, you know, who support them or who watches them, they're not watching them because they want to hear something positive. Nah, they want to hear the BS. So yeah, if that makes sense to you, I don't know.
It does, and that's why I said I'm comfortable with my small little chat. And again, whatever is to be will be. Because I don't want to have to keep dealing with, like I said, little Roccos. I mean, he didn't go too far, but honestly, had someone saw that, they could have been offended and then looked at me in a bad way, and then
Exactly.
Not saying that it would have, but could have possibly wanted to start something up with me. And I'm like, again, I didn't say anything. And that just came out of nowhere. So it's things like that I would like to avoid. And I know that you can't stop everything because I've seen him around before and he's always spoken. I've always spoken to him. So again, you never know what a person's motives are. You just have to just continue to be you, be consistent. I think that's the key. Sometimes we deviate from it depending upon the circumstances, but that's what we see. That's what it is. We can only, as Deja Vu earlier said, as a people, and that's collectively, it's not specific to a gender, race, nor ethnicity. We have to do better because trust me, I'm all over and I see even in a foreign tongue shots being fired at people. A lot of people in this sector or culture may not see it, but it happens, so that myth has to be busted because it goes on, but it's not as magnified as much as it is in this sector. And honestly, there's so much talent. There really is a lot of talent out here, but as you said, it's people are driven by the almighty dollar. And I hope and pray, well, I think now at this point in my life, my health and longevity, however long it may be, you cannot put a price tag on that. I'm sorry. And a lot of people, unfortunately, feel as though money can buy anything. For a lot of people, yes, the tangibles, but Janet Jackson said in a song earlier, and then I'm going to close this out because I've got an interview to do, and I'll see if she wants to share that, and you all can listen to that, or I'll post it up if that's something she would like for me to do. She was in here earlier, as a matter of fact, Mahogany Roots and MJ, but she said that the most saddest thing is to have everything still be unhappy. And I believe that came from a place where she was going through a very deep depression. We know that she's extremely beautiful. She comes from a mega talented family. Um, she lost her brother, the king of pop. She's had some issues in her personal life, but financially, from what we see on the outside, she has everything. But think about that statement. The most saddest thing is to have everything and still be unhappy. I think that is so profound. And a lot of people don't really sit and think about that. You can have all of the money to pay every bill and help your friends out. But if something within still makes you unhappy, what difference does it make? You're no different, honestly, than the person that's out on the curb with the sign. And Melly, thank you for saying that. That was so sweet. Melly says, you're one of the most gracious and peaceful I've seen online. I try to be. I mean, every now and again, I've got to roar, but for the most part, I am calm. And Deja Vu says, we all need money, but the love of it is the root of all evil. Indeed. Well, it is good, Rita, that you finally were able to connect, and hopefully you'll be connecting more again. It was good to, again, have you up to converse with both myself and Miss Empress, the Georgia Peach. And I look forward to having more where you're available. And you said that you were in Florida. I'm not sure what the weather is like out there, but it has been crazy here. We've had rains and then high winds and then an uptick in humidity. It's just been all over the place. So hopefully you're not in any bad weather with bad air quality, because we know we need air to breathe, but it's just bad all over. And that's another thing. I think people they don't think about the small things in life, which is sad to me. Thank you, Deja Vu. And thank you, Empress. Any final words before I close this out, Mr. Writer Prophet? Actually, where did you get that name from? I always wanted to ask you that.
Well, I'm more like on a conscious level, and I'm in tune with my blackness, and I put my people first. So that's why you have the B1. So,
Yes.
yeah, that's where it came from. Like, you know, how can I put it? I don't want to sound, well, I'm trying to be, nice on your panel, but, you know what? Let's leave that conversation because I don't want to, hurt any feelings. I just have my own ideology. I put my people first. That's why I put the B1. And if people don't like it, I don't really care. So that's where I stand. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That's
Well,
just
yes,
me.
we will have another live really soon, hopefully, God willing. And again, thank you, Writer Prophet. Thank you, Empress. And then young Riaz, who was up earlier, everyone who left comments in the comment section, and to those who may catch the replay. I'll make sure that I put the links in. Oh, and also my Facebook family. Hey there, thank you all as well for listening in. I'm sitting here waving at the screen like they can really see me. Obviously, it's time for someone to go night night, but I can't right now because I've got to go to another live. But I will speak to you all virtually again really soon. And thank you so much to everyone. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Yes, drop your links and connect with one another.
Oh, Doe Eyes, I don't mean to cut you off. When you're finished, I just have one more thing to say.
Sure.
Oh, can I speak now?
Yes, of course.
All right. Just to let you know, and I really don't do, I don't do panel. I really don't do panels, but just to let you know, since I've been watching YouTube and I put this on everything I love, you're the second panel I've ever jumped on.
Oh, well, I
Yeah,
feel
I
honored.
don't do it.
Okay,
No,
look into the chat. Empress is leaving her IG link. Deja Vu, again, is leaving her link
oh, how do
with
I
her
get?
channel.
All right, I'll definitely hit up Empress. No problem. Yeah.
Yeah, hit up that peach. Oops, that didn't come out. That didn't come out right. Make sure you hit up Empress. Sorry, Empress. Oops.
Oh God,
Did I
bad
say
Doe Eyes.
that? Did I
Bad
say
Doe
that?
Eyes.
That did not come out the way I meant it to. Make sure that you connect with Empress Goddess. Hopefully, I
Oh,
cleaned that
man.
up. That was some quick damage control. I had to stay quick on my toes. But you all, thank you so very much. Deja Vu, I definitely will get to your channel because intermittent fasting actually does work. I'm sorry, Empress. I really didn't mean to say that. Oh my goodness. Anyway, you all take care. I'm like 2 minutes behind, and hopefully I'll see you all later. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday and or Monday, depending upon where you are on the globe. Everyone, again, thank you so much. And thank you, Ryder.
You're
Have a
welcome.
good night. All right, sir. Bye-bye now.
Bye.